Claire from createdtheottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the UK. Thank you for joining me. Wow, today's make is an absolute wow of a make. Let me show you it. So it's pretty on the outside, really pretty. Got lots of different sparkly bits on, some nice sparkly ribbon, but the inside, are you ready? Ta-da! Look at that. That is like the biggest wow card you have ever seen. And we are going to be making this today. How cool is that? Honestly, I can't get over how pleased I am with it. It's come out better than I thought. I've seen a few different versions of this type of card around and I thought I'd give it a go myself. So here I am sharing with you this free tutorial. So keep watching to the end and we will have made this together. I suggest that you go and grab a cup of tea and something to nibble on. Tea and biscuits always goes down well here in the UK. And then have a watch through with me and then come back and get your stuff ready and make it together. Okay, so what are we going to be making? I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. I absolutely love their products. So most of my makes are using them. There's a current Christmas catalogue out and I'll just share with you what we're going to be making. I was going to make it identical, which is a good thing, but actually I thought I'll try and do something in a different version, in a different colourway, just to see what it looks like. So I'm not sure if this is going to work out either, but we can find out together. So today I am using these papers here, well actually this one in particular, which is like this. So it's got garden green colour, but it's got a nice white fern going through it. So when I use a white card, this will pick up the white from the base card. The other side is actually like that, which is equally as pretty. If you like the products I use and you want to purchase any Stampin' Up products, if you're in the UK, you can purchase them from me at createdtheottaway.co.uk and just select shop. So this is from this set. The paper is 12 by 12, so I've just cut this down so it's manageable for you to see on the screen. Really lovely thing about Stampin' Up is that everything coordinates, and this paper is two-sided. Most of the Stampin' Up paper is. I think there's only 2 packs that isn't two-sided, which is a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing because you get like double the value for your money, and a bad thing because you can never decide which side to use. We also are going to be using these products. So on page 12, if you've got one of these lovely catalogues, there's these tree dies here. So that's what I've used on the inside. I've used the trees, I've used the presents, even the little wrapping ribbon that goes on the presents is a tiny little die, and at first I was like, oh, it's going to take so much time, but do you know what, it's really worth it to add the detail. Even the lights or tinsel that's going across the tree is a die, and the stars as well. So all of those dies that I've used come in that one pack. So there's 5 different sizes of tree shape which you can graduate. There's a massive great big tag, which is the front one there, really good size for a tag. Some extra little bits, some baubles, some stars, some all sorts of things. If I show you that actually in the flesh, as it were, you can see there's like the tree is really big. So even if you just die cut that 3 or 4 times and put it together, that would be a lovely standing tree. Really lovely size. And then there's a smaller one there, and there's all sorts of other bits going on as well. These are the ribbon bits for on your presents, so you could use those as stars or snowflakes as well. Like I say, they're really tiny and fiddly, but so worth it. And I've got a trick that I'll share with you about those. That is the size of the tag, lots of stars going on, so lots to keep you busy with that pack, and lots that you can use for all sorts of projects. I really like to show you how to get the best value out of your purchases, so I'll be sharing some tips and tricks along the way. Now the other paper that I've used on the first one, this snowflake one here, is in this pack here, which is on page 37. It's Snowflake Magic, and today we're going to be using the white one with a silver fleck. So really lovely paper. That is one of the packs that is only one-sided, but very, very beautiful. So I'll leave that to one side, and shall we craft? What else do I need to tell you? The base card is actually quite simple. Yes, honestly, believe me, it is. It's just how you put it together step by step. So the actual base card size is there. I've put it in inches and centimetres, and I'll talk you through as we do it. So you might want to screenshot that so that you can enlarge it and write everything down. And then you need these 3 sizes for the inside columns, which again I've done in inches and centimetres, and I will talk you through step by step. So let's craft. Okay, so the first thing we are going to need is a piece of white card. Now you can do this any colour you like, but I'm going to use white because I really like how it outlines everything, and also you can see it much better on camera. Now I have chosen to use extra thick card that Stampin' Up do, because there's a lot going on in this card. There's a lot of weight on it, and the normal basic white card is perfect, but I wanted something that was really going to stand up. What I hate is if you make a card and it's sort of collapsing when you give it. So we are going to use the extra thick card to start with, and the size that we need is 11 3/4 or by 5 7/8. So I've already cut this to size. I will just double check because I've had that before where I've cut it and I've just been away with the fairies and it's not been right. So that's 11 3/4, and this is 5 by 7/8. Now this is a UK size because I'm in the UK and will fit in a standard envelope. You may have to adjust yours by just a teeny weeny bit to make it more perfect for markets in other areas. What are we going to do with this card? On the longer side, we're going to do a couple of score lines. So the first thing we are going to do is score at 4 1/8. Now, if you're finding the measurements tricky, you go to the 4-inch mark here and then go past it 2 little lines, and that gives you 4 1/8. And remember, we are scoring, not cutting. So there's my score line, and then the next score line is 5 7/8. Okay, so that's going to be there, 5 7/8. And the score line after that is 7 5/8. 7 5/8. Okay, so let me move this out of the way a minute so you can see. See, what you should end up with is a card that's got 3 score lines in the middle. So you're aiming to make this shape here, which is a bit like an M. And you can be talking about mountains and valleys and all sorts of things. But basically, if you look for an M, bring that back over, it's the least confusing. So I've got a nice shaped card that's just an M or a W, whichever you prefer. But that is your base card. Honestly, that is it. That's all you do. So now we're going to cover it. We're going to make the inside look pretty, but not too pretty, because we want it to be the background. We don't want it to be the star of the show. So I'm just going to move that out the way, and I'm going to bring in this paper. Now this paper is for the inside, and that needs to be, let me double check this now, 5 3/4. And I've put by 4, but I'm going to cut it down slightly smaller. Now, there's a reason for that. So, this panel here is the size of a normal card in the UK. So I would ordinary, it's 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. So I would ordinarily go down just a tiny 1/8 of an inch, because what I want to do is leave a white frame around. But I need it slightly smaller. So what I'm going to do is cut it at 3 7/8, which I've already done. And I'm going to cut it the other way, along this way here, and that's going to be at 5 3/4, so it's 1/8 less. Okay, so before I cut the other one exactly the same, I'm just going to hold it up to there and see what I think. So there's just a very thin border. If I hold it in place all the way around, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the other one the same. So it was, just to confirm for you, 5 3/4 by 4 inches, but I've just gone back a tiny little bit, so just slightly back. Or you could do, I'm really confusing you now, aren't I? 5 3/4 by 3 7/8. See, that would be too much. So I've just gone back one line from the 4. Okay, so let's glue that on. So remember, this is your inside of your card. One is going there and one is going there. And I think I have got a new glue, so there'll be no praying to the glue fairy to make the glue work today. If you've watched previous episodes of me, either the glue comes out really fast or you're squeezing the life out of it trying to get any. So this is a new one that's going to play ball. So I'm putting one on there. Now this paper is paper that is any way up. What that means is it doesn't matter which way round I put it, it's going to look good, which is what you want. Crafting should be stress-free. And then this one goes the other side. Now, because this is going on white card, I'm not worried at all about the core of the paper being white, because you're not even going to notice it. So that is going on that side, like so. Changes the look of the card already, doesn't it? Now we're going to do these two panels exactly the same colour, because we want them to blend and not stand out. So this needs to be 1 5/8 by 5 3/4, and you need 2 of those. So 1 5/8 by 5 3/4. Let's see if this is going to come out as nice as the original, because I'm using blues and greens this time. Okay, so there's that one, and then the other side is exactly the same, and then the inside of your card is done. Well, the back panel anyway. Okay, so that is going there. That's a really nice paper, isn't it? Really nice paper. Okay, so that's all going to be stuck. I'm just going to fold that over on itself, so I'm happy with that. Ta-da. Right, while we're here, we might as well do the front, because it's easier to decorate this DSP panel now than at the end. So decide which bit is your front. They're the same both sides. And because I know the colours that I'm doing inside, I'm going to put a navy panel, okay, before I put my green panel on the top. Okay, so my navy panel I've done slightly smaller. I've done it 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, and that can go straight on because I'm happy with the sizing of that. So it's 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. I don't want this to move, so I'm putting enough glue on. The reason I'm using Tombow is because it gives you a bit of wiggle room. So you can place it on, And what I'm doing is looking down one side to get the border right, and then I can rub over the rest and it all is in place. Now this is going to go over the top. Now this is going to go on navy card, and can you see, I don't know if you can, there's a white core on the paper, so I am going to colour that with a garden green pen, just because it's these little details that lift your card from ordinary to special. So wherever the white core is, I'm just colouring it, just so it takes away that edge. This is just a Stampin' Up marker. It's like a felt tip, but so much more because you can use it on your stamps. Okay, so that's that. The Stampin' Up do a whole range of colours in them, which is even better. Well, for all of the colour families. If you haven't checked out Stampin' Up colours, go take a look. They are amazing. Okay, so that goes on the front. So I'm just doing that again, so it's just in before I press it down. I'm just looking all round, and that's the front of my card. That actually looks really nice, doesn't it? Really like. But then, do you know what? I'm sort of cheating because I'm a navy and I'm a blue and green girl. They're my colours. So anything that's made blue and green together actually is a winner with me. So the outside's done and the inside back panel is done. Now we come for the exciting bit. So we're going to build up the inside step by step together. So again, I'm going to put that out the way for the moment, and we are going to do the columns that are these pieces here. So we're going to make two identical pieces. So I've already decided I'm going to use navy on this card. In the last one I used pretty peacock colour, but I want the columns to stand out but not be too bold. So we are using navy. Now we need two pieces that are 4.5 by 4 inches. So 4.5, let's cut a big slice of that off. 4.5 by 4. So there's one. 4.5 by 4. Just check that is 4.5. Yeah, 4.5 by 4. Oh, it's such a tiny piece to come off, but that's good. Okay, so two pieces that are 4.5 by 4. Now you want to score on the 4-inch side. So the 4-inch side at the top, and score at every inch. So get that cutting blade out of the way. So you're scoring at 1 inch, which I find easier to do on that side, and then I flip it round. So I've scored at 1 inch, score at 2 inches, and 3 inches, and then you should have 4 panels on your card. So let's do this one the same. So 1 inch first, and then flip it round, and we're going to do it at 2, 3, and the 4th one is the end of the panel. So okay, let's move that out the way then. So if you just fold these around so that you can see they're like little tubes, but they don't overlap. Okay, now what you want is to add something to this piece of the column. Okay, so I'm going to use some of this shiny paper again, and this time I'm going to use navy because I want it to stand out but not be too shouty. Okay, so I've got this navy blue foil, and again this has got a white edge, so when I put it on the card you can see there's a white edge which I don't want to see. So I'm just going to colour that edge as well. So colouring just means rubbing a pen. Now if you haven't got the exact colour, just use the nearest colour. You just want to get rid of that harsh white edge all the way along. It will make a difference, I promise. And it's just worth taking the extra few seconds to do it. Just get into this one. So excited to make this card. We did it on Christmas craft retreat. It was the first time I'd done it with a group of local crafters, and we had real good fun that day. But everyone made one and everyone was so pleased. There were some lovely examples, so I can't wait to see what you all make with your versions. Okay, so you need to put these pieces on the second panel in. Get that off the way. So you're going to put it on there. So I am going to put some glue on there. It actually is easier to put glue on your card if you lay your card down. You use less glue and you're more accurate rather than trying to hold it up and do it, which I always forget because I'm trying to show you what I'm doing on camera and I feel like I need to be really close. Okay, so that's going to go on there, just like that. And then I'm going to bring this one in and that one's going to be the same. It's going to be, put it down, see I did it again. Did you notice? I was trying to put glue on it up in the air while it's floating and it just doesn't work. You have to put it down and do it. Okay, so they've both got glue on that way. We're going to stick it in the card. Woo! Okay, so bring your card over. I feel a bit nervous for you. I hope you're all taking a breath. Okay, so this is the middle bit. That's your folded bit. You are going to, so the bit that's got two empty panels, put some glue on this piece. Okay, so you're just putting it on this piece. And again, I'm putting glue all up in the air, aren't I? Rather than down. Okay, not listening to myself. And then what you're going to do, so the glue is there, then there's a gap, and then there's your shiny piece. You're going to spin it over, and before you place it on, you're looking for where you're going to put it. You sort of want it in the centre, and what you want it to do is butt up to this bit. Okay, so it butts up to there, so keep that up so you can see. Okay, like so. Ta-da! And then what we're going to do is the other side. So again, the piece that's got two bits, let's move that over and put the glue on down. Okay, like so. Like that, bring it back in. That is going there, and this time I'm trying to get them level. Like so. I've got cat's hair stuck to me. Okay, so when you're happy, you're just going to fold that way and press down, and fold it that way and press down. Okay, and they should be stuck. Ta-da. Okay, now what you're going to do is fold it in half, like so. So the shiny side should be on here, on the outside, and you're going to put some glue on here. Just on this panel. Okay, and you're going to fold this over to here. It's all about how you fold it. Okay, and then when it's dry, I'm just saying a little prayer to the craft fairy. When you open it up, oh, look, that's your first column. So now we're going to do this side. We're going to fold it in half. This bit is the shiny piece. This bit is just plain card. Put glue on here. Okay, and this time you're folding it back this way. You can fold the whole thing or just the half. I like to fold the whole thing because it gives me a wider area to press down on. Let's have a look. Look. So that's our first column. Ta-da! Should we do the next one? So the next one we're going to do is this one here, okay? So this one is going to be white. So what you need is 2 pieces of white, okay? So I've got some basic white card because the inside doesn't need to be thick and heavy. 2 pieces, and you want 4 inches by 3.5. So I think I've already cut this at 4 inches. Yep, so it needs to be now 3.5. So there is 3.5. And then I'll do another one 3.5 because you want 2 exactly the same. Okay, so move that out of the way. So on the 4-inch side, so you've got 2 pieces, and you want the piece that is the 4-inch side to do your score lines. So I'm putting the 4-inch at the top, and you are going to score at 1 inch. So get that cutting blade out of the way. 1 inch, 2.5, 2.5, and 3.5. Okay, 3.5. So you end up with that. So you've got 1 inch, 2.5, and 3.5. So you end up with a shape like that. So let's do that again for the other one. So make sure you're on the 4-inch side. You're going to score at 1 inch, 2.5, 2.5, and 3.5. 3.5. Okay, so let's have a look at that. 2 pieces like that, and just burnish them and make sure they are folding in the way that you want to. Okay, so we've got 2 pieces, and we're going to just put our designer series paper on here before we stick it in. So the designer series paper that you need needs to go on this panel here, okay? So it's just 1 3/8 by 3 3/8, okay? Now, I decided that the paper that I'd got was too busy for this tiny little rectangle. So in fact, what I've done is use some Night of Navy card, and I've used some white ink and just stamped on with the snowflake stamp set. So the one that's called Sparkling Snowflakes, I've just used a couple of the stamps and some of this white ink and the ink pad from Stampin'Up, and you use it exactly the same as you do normal ink, and I've stamped on there, and that has given me that. And then I just did some white tiny dots actually, just with a white pen, and they're going to go right on the top there, because I wanted it snowflakey, and I didn't have any navy blue snowflake paper. It was pretty peacock, so I thought, do you know what, let's make our own, see what happens. So that is going on there. Okay, so there's one, and then this one is going on the other side. And again, I've been careful to make this any way up, so it doesn't matter which way round I stick it, it's going to look fine. And that is going on the other side, like so. I'm really hoping this works out, that it all ties in together. Okay, so we've got our 2 panels. Now let's bring our card back in so we can stick the next piece in. Okay, so we've got our card like this. We've got our panel. One side has got 2 folds in it, and the other side has got 1. We're going to concentrate on the one that's just got 1 fold. Okay, so what we're going to do is put some glue on here and lay it flat here. Okay, so we're going to lay it down on the table. put some glue on, just on this final piece here. And again, what I'm looking for is to find the middle-ish of this bit, okay? So I just slide it up to there. Don't push it under, just up to. Okay, and when you're happy with that, am I happy with that? Let's stand over it a bit. I think so. You bring that down to it. So bring that down and just press it in place. Okay. Just make sure that that is stuck like that. And then we're going to do the other side. I'm going to do the other side exactly the same, but what I've done is spun it round so that my two folds are there and the one is at the inside. Okay. And this is going this side. I'm just going to bring it down so I can see it. Because what you want to do is make sure they are in as line as you can get it. Okay, so when you're happy, fold it back the other way. So that one is there. Okay, have a look. Okay, so now you're going to put some glue on this bit. I am so excited for you. Just making this card and then seeing when you gift it, the joy it brings, honestly. And it's really not that difficult. So you'll be like a superstar. So, did you see what I did? I put some glue on this end panel. And then what I'm going to do is tuck it under and fold my card. So that hasn't stuck. Hang on. Leave it a bit longer. Because you really need it to be firmly stuck before you try and move it. Okay, and then just the very first time you do it, just give it a little helping hand. Okay, so that is your second bit. Look at that. Okay, let's do this one. So we are going to put glue on this final piece here. Okay, so we put glue on the final piece. We bend it backwards so it's laying flat. Okay, and then bring everything over. Let me show you. So that is flat. Okay, and when it's flat, hold everything together. The reason you're doing this as well is so that you know that everything folds flat, ready for posting or gifting. You haven't got to walk around with this card to gift it. It will fold down flat, so that's even more of a wow, isn't it? Imagine if you got this in the post and you opened it up. I would be like, oh my God, how did she make this? So yeah, if you want to send me one, I'll be very happy. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to open it up there and I'm just trying it out. Oh my God, I love it. That is so good. Look at that. Okay, so now we're just on the final bit. Can you believe it? We're going to do this bit here. So we are going to do this piece here. Okay, if you've managed this so far, you are on top of the world because you are going to be making this. So what do we need? We need a piece of card that is 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. So 2 3/4 by 4 1/2, nothing to it at all. 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. So on the 4 1/2 inch side, so make sure we're on the 4 1/2 inch side, we're going to score at a half. Okay, again, it's a little bit tricky because it's quite down the bottom. So I'm going to do it on this side so I can hold the card. Then I spin it round. I've already got my score line on 1/2, so the next one is 2 1/4. 2 1/4, and the last one is 4 inches. Okay, and that is it. So you fold that in 1/2, fold that in 1/2, and that one, and you end up with that piece. Okay, a bit like a V. You need some designer series paper on there. I have got this one, which I had a bigger piece to show you. Yeah, it actually looks like that in the flesh, so much bigger. But the joy is we only need a tiny piece. So these pieces are 1 5/8 by 2 5/8, and they are just going to stick on there. Okay, so let's do that. So how are you going to decorate yours? Are you going to purchase the Merriest trees dies and make it the same as mine? Or have you got another favourite set that you're going to use to put on the inside? You can really make this card. I mean, this I've made for Christmas for somebody special, but really you could make it all year round. Just make it, what a wonderful wedding card that would be, or a special anniversary, big birthday card. Honestly, it's so lovely, such a lovely design. Okay, so that's like that. Not sure actually that I like the white on there. Let's bring it in. No, actually I do like it. Do I? Yeah. Okay, so how are we going to fit this in? So you can see these bits that fold back. They are going to be the bits that attach here. So we're going to have to do this really carefully and slowly so that it fits in the right place. So we're going to put glue on one side, and what we're aiming to do is fit it sort of roughly in the middle of the panel. So I'm going to put some glue on, and then I'm going to hold it like that until it's almost set. And then I'm going to put glue on the other one and put it there, the same. And then we're going to carefully close it together and see what happens. Okay, because I think it's going to move a bit. So we're going to do it slowly and carefully together. So this bit, should have put glue on the other side because I wanted that bit. So I've put my glue on. I am looking where the middle of my column is, probably about there. I'm happy, I think, with that. Okay, I'm going to put glue on the other bit, which I am having to do up in the air. And I'm going to bring that over and put it there. Just leave it set a little bit and then bring it together like so. Oh goodness, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, oh, how many should we count to before we have a look? 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Oh, look at that. Ta-da! Oh my god, that is amazing. Okay, should we decorate it? So I've already die cut some of the shapes out from the dies. I just wanted to show you. I'm probably not going to show you all the decoration. I'll go through it on the other one, just purely because of time. And you really just want to get on with making this card. So I've got the base for the tree. I'm going to put a big tree on here, like so. And I'm going to layer it with one of the white ones, and I'm going to stamp a sentiment on that. And then this one, I've done 2 the same, but what I tend to do is do a silver and then just offset it a bit, okay? Because I don't want it to detract from where my sentiment is. Okay, so that's going to go there. And I've done the basket weave underneath. these amazing things here are just going to go across. You get, I don't know how many, about 5 different layers, strings. So you just find the one that fits and lay it across. And then I've got loads of stars that I'm just going to place all round. And then the presents. So the presents I've done in silver, the navy foil, and I did do some white as well. And I'm just going to layer those up. And all you do is, oh, I didn't show you that, I didn't bring it through. So in the Stampin' Up catalogue, Stampin' Up do some adhesive sheets, which are just sticky double layer sheets that you put on a piece of card. We're going to be able to do it now quickly. Put on a piece of card, die cut your shapes through. Let me show you with a star because it might be easy. And then you peel it off like so. It's just like that. Looks a bit like vellum when you peel it off, but that leaves your shape sticky. Okay, so you end up with a sticker to place wherever you want. You haven't got to try and put fiddly lines of glue on. So that is it. So when it comes to things like these, she says, if you can peel it off, which I can't with my nails, but I've got a tweezer and a pokey tool. I'm determined to do one before we go. Oh look, that's going to go. Right, don't breathe. I just want to show you a present. Come on, somebody play ball. Maybe if we say a little prayer to the crafting fairy. It's not going to, is it? It's because I'm under pressure. Right, pretend I've just peeled that off and it sticks on there like that. And how lovely is that? Ta-da! So there is our make for today. I will finish it and post a photo over on social media. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and a little bit on Pinterest. This is the finished article, so can you see how gorgeous those presents look with that little bit of ribbon on the top? But it really is a wow card. And then how I finished the front was just double layering the tags with some extra stars and some sparkly ribbon. So I will do similar on this one, just across there, because really what I'm trying to do is encourage them to open it out and see what's inside. So thank you for watching. I hope you have loved this wow card. It really is a special card to be gifting this Christmas. Please share how you get on with it. Let me know if it was good, bad or ugly, and also what designs you came up with. I would love to see them. Thanks for watching. Bye.